Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Before the start of the video, I wanted to ask maybe some of my viewers in Europe have the new Areej le Dore by the Kaaba. If you do, even 1 mil and you think you don't need it anymore, I would really much love to buy it and of course review it. So yeah, if you have even a drop of by the Kaaba that you think you don't need anymore, please contact me and I will most definitely buy it. I'm very interested in the fragrance, I want to review it, but the notes are not, let's say, shocking or interesting to me enough to splurge on a bottle blend. So yeah, I want to get a sample and I most definitely want to do a review because every new Areej le Dore fragrance is exciting. But you know, in this hobby we kind of need to pick our battles, and when the anniversary collection is in the horizon and the classic collection that I got just happened a few months ago, I just want to know what am I buying, if I am buying. And in general, as a disclaimer, let's put it that way, I always recommend the sampling before buying bottles, but the sad part about this recommendation is that in the artisanal world, it's most of the time very hard to sample something before it releases because, well, as you probably all know, who buy from Areej le Dore, for example, the bottles are gone in seconds, minutes, or in the worst case, days. So if it's basically impossible to get a sample before you get a bottle from people, and Adam does not always provide samples. For example, he never provides samples for his classical collections. In some case I understand it because, well, as he says, the fragrances he is remaking were available by that moment for years. So at least to understand what you should expect, you can by buying samples from other people of the older releases. But in this case, By the Kaaba was first announced in Dubai in the beauty event, and well, that's why some people already have the bottles, because if you were at Dubai at the time, you could buy them directly from Adam. Some of people I saw even got signatures on the bottles, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if any of you guys from Europe were there and you got the bottle and you're willing to sell me at least 1 mil, I don't need much. 1 mil is plenty to at least to do a first impressions. Even though I do not do many first impressions on this video because on this channel, because I talk about fragrances that I have owned for years. And like, for example, star of today's video, Indonesian Wood by Areej le Dore, I of course bought on release, so I have plenty of experience with the juice, as you can see, and it looks like it's a little used, but if you take the shape of the bottle into consideration and flip it upside down, it is more understandable that probably more than 30% of the juice is gone. And it's like not hard to use up. It's only a 22 ml bottle, so a few sprays here and there, and Areej atomizers are actually pretty good, although this sometimes acts up and sprays downwards. It's a thick juice. This was, I don't know, maybe not so popular for release. It was pretty actually cheap, $160 if I remember correctly. But like with many of Areej le Dore releases that are not too popular, let's say, and I base this assumption of not popularity because I see this one on sale on the groups many times, and it's not inflated in price. Most of the times it's even cheaper than the retail, which was already a very excellent priced fragrance. So yeah, and I lost my thought. The main reason this one kind of was, I don't know, never hyped or talked about too much is, I think, because it was misunderstood. Maybe I should talk a little bit more about the history of wood collection itself. The whole collection was, except of one fragrance, was not actually perfumes, not real blending or anything of perfumer's work was that involved. It is basically just Indonesian wood, CO2 distillated, that Adam picked and added alcohol to the extent that he thought it was perfect, and released. It's a basically sprayable wood for Western audiences, which is pretty cool idea, I must say. From that collection I have Indonesian wood. I previously owned Chinese wood, which I now sold, and I have sampled Indian wood. So I have not tried all of them, but well, I work with what I have. This one was a grower for me as well. At first, when I got it, I also did not understand it fully. It gave me this feeling of, I don't know, for some of you who are from Europe or especially live in Greece, there is this alcoholic beverage called metaxa. I have pretty bad experiences with that drink from my younger days. So let's say the aroma of that before mentioned alcoholic beverage metaxa do not evoke any good feelings or memories. And the first thought that I got in my mind when I smelled this was that it smells like metaxa. It's funny, so like the first impressions, and maybe that's the reason I do not do first impressions on this channel, because my first impressions often are very wrong. So what does this actually smell like? And why did people misunderstand it? First of all, I would not call this actually a fragrance. Why is that? Well, basically, it still has some sort of top note, middle note, and base note. But it is a little bit one-dimensional, and obviously, because it's only one type of note, wood. And I know wood can be very complex. And as far as one-note fragrances go, this is, of course, complex. If you would do like one note fragrance and that note would be, I don't know, blood orange, it would be just blood orange. It would suck. But this absolutely does not suck. Comparing to the other two I tried from that collection that are immensely more expensive, I like the Indonesian wood the most. And to be honest, as far as wood goes, I have tried not too much of pure wood, but I have tried maybe from 10 to 15 different woods, from Ansar wood, from Field wood, from Areej le Dore, if we can count this, few no-name woods that I got, and one in particular very good wood I got from when I visited Vietnam. I will do a review of that one in the future. That's gonna be a pretty controversial video, I guess. So if you want to if you want to hear my take on natural wood, subscribe, I guess. That one I will need to prepare for. Anyways, so yeah, as you know, I am a fragrance enjoyer that likes fragrances that calm me down. I like to relax. I wouldn't say I like to meditate, but I like to, probably the best word for that would be I like to relax before I go to sleep. And this is one of the best fragrances to achieve that goal that I have in my collection. First, maybe let's talk about the downsides of this scent. For me, they are not downsides, but for many that would buy this, maybe they are. This fragrance has basically zero projection, zero sillage. It's a very close to skin scent. It is not screaming, it is not shouting, it is not. It's basically barely a fragrance, I would say on this, and please get me right. It's great. I don't mind it. I don't need, as I know, fragrances to scream and shout and leave a sillage, and I don't need other people to smell me or whatever like that. I just want to enjoy it, and this is extremely enjoyable. As far as woods go, I like my animalics, I like my barnyard, but this has none of that. It's not barnyardy wood whatsoever. It is more like an old dusty crate in the basement, maybe, that had some rum in it, some metaxa. Yeah, let's say, yeah, all right. It's a barrel. It's an old barrel you would find in a pirate ship that is full of metaxa. I don't know if there ever were pirates who stole from Greece, but if there were, I guess the pirates stole metaxa from Greece, and they have it in barrels, and the ship has sunk 200 years ago, and I don't know, the barrel somehow never got wet and rotten, and you find this treasure, and that's exactly how it smells. A little bit moldy, a little bit medicinal, old dusty woody, and undoubtedly boozy. If this profile sounds interesting to you, will absolutely like it. If the only wood you enjoy is actual Indian wood, this is not that at all. Almost no animalic or barnyard facets are present here. It's mostly relaxing, meditative, soft, close to the skin scent that has its complexities, as you hear I mentioned probably 5 of them just now, but it is not evolving. It has no like arc. What you get on the first few seconds is what you get in the dry down as well. But it makes sense because it doesn't have ambergris, musk, or any citrus or florals. It's just wood, and that's what you get. And for $160, what you get is an insanely excellent value, especially for those who are not too keen on oils or attars, and plenty of Western Europe people, even fragheads and woodheads and whatever, they prefer spraying. I don't mind attars, because again I don't care about projection, so I find them. So if the smell is not sharp and the smell is soothing, I enjoy it, and this is exactly that. What else I should mention? I hear some reviews. Some people say they get this cola note. I don't get it. Basically, I don't. I see like 15 fragrances from all kinds of brands and Sarud, Areej le Dore, and people claiming they get a cola note. Yeah, I'm a water drinker. Maybe I don't have enough experience with cola. Only cola that I ever drank was Coca-Cola, and mostly with whiskey and that. So maybe I'm not suitable for this comparison or this analogy. Maybe in the USA you have all these Dr. Peppers or whatever. Maybe it smells something like that, and I just don't know. But for me, the only fragrance I ever smelled that actually has the Coca-Cola vibe is Roja Enigma. So if we take Roja Enigma as Coca-Cola's vibe, by the way, good fragrance, I will do a review in the future for sure, and we take this, they have nothing in common whatsoever. Other thing I wanted to highlight about this fragrance is the bottle. I like it. The cap is actually, I think, metal. Feels like metal. It's called, yeah, it's metal. Sprayers are pretty good. The bottle design is unique. I have never seen most of Areej le Dore's bottle designs are unique, but this one is especially. I never seen any bottle look even closely familiar to this. I have a box somewhere, but again I couldn't find it. I have a hunch where it is. It's probably under my fragrances, because I have these staircases formed out of the boxes to display my bottles a little bit more aesthetically. So I just didn't want to move 50 bottles to get a box. If you want to see how the box looks, it's not hard to find. You can actually Google it. And that being said, if this was any other bottle from this collection, I would absolutely grab the box, because the boxes for any other of the collection are amazing. They are wooden, they're hand painted with this calligraphy. I just love it. The main reason I was sad to sell the Chinese wood was not actually the wood and the smell, because I was not a big of fan, but the box. The box of other 4, I think, or how many there were, are amazing. And this one, it's a rubbery black box, nothing special, nothing bad, of course. It's a good, safe box. I could probably throw it out of the 5th floor, and it would still, I probably survive. Who do I recommend this spraying wood for? If you are new to Areej le Dore, this is probably, I don't know, not the best first choice, because it won't tell you nothing much about the house. It doesn't have the signature musks and whatnot of Areej le Dore. If you are new to wood, that's absolutely a very good way where to start, because you pay only 160, and I think you can even find it on groups probably even cheaper. It is easier for the Westerners than oil. It's not barnyardy or animalic or anything like that, so you won't get the shock. I think the animalics person needs to grow into them, I guess, because first of all, it's gonna be strange at start, because I believe our brain has this tension, to, if we smell something new, our mind tries to connect it to something we already know. And that happens with fragrances for me. That's why I think my first impressions are not very good. I need more time to get the scent fully. And to be fair, if you're trying Indian wood for the first time in your life, the closest association you will get from that smell is gonna be shit. So I don't think smelling Indian wood is a right way to start your wood journey, because you might get a very wrong first impression. Whilst this one, Indonesian wood, in this particular spray format, is very, very good start, because you will get some notes that you would basically expect from a fragrance, not an wood, and you will get some interesting facets you would like to, deep dive into. So I think as an intriguing fragrance for a wood beginner, it's a very good choice. I sprayed it 5 minutes ago, and it's already dying down in projection. I can smell it maybe from this far from my hand. It can be a wickedness to someone. For me, it's absolutely not. If I go to sleep, I don't need my partner to smell me too strongly. If I'm already trying to fall asleep, I just need to calm me down. And I just took a sniff of it, and then my mind just gone. I'm in the bliss, actually. It's a very good fragrance. For the money, it is an amazing value. I'm happy more and more people online, as I see it, turn around back to it. At the beginning, I don't think it got too many praises as it should, and I think people just misunderstood it. not every fragrance out there has to be complex, beast mode, shocking, or something like that. Of course, these fragrances are also necessary and also appreciated, and also I have a full cabinet of them as well. But I think this is an important fragrance. It did something new, something actually innovative. I know Adam feels proud on that whole collection, and I don't really think he cares too much that not everybody got every scent of that collection correctly. I still really wish I could try the Kenam one. That one actually had some other ingredients and stuff. And in general, when this collection came out, I was not aware of how much I like Kenam. Because, well, acquiring Kenam and Kenam fragrances with Kenam, it's pretty hard. And hard and expensive also, of course. So I just didn't know what I'm missing or what I'm gaining from that bottle. And of course the price was what I back then thought just stupendous. But as I know, I am now smarter and I know better. The price was completely justifiable if the Kenam that is there is plenty. And I don't know if it is. I will probably try to look and get a sample, but I don't see many of the samples or bottles for sale ever. So probably the people who got it, they understand it and they enjoy it. So yeah, for those of us who couldn't afford the Kenam, I splurged on the Chinese, but to me personally it was a little bit of a mistake. I maybe will talk about it in the future in other videos, maybe when I will review the Chinese wood, the Extrait de Parfum. So for those who could only afford Indonesian wood, my personal take that we did not lose much in our finances and in what we got. I like this over the Chinese wood. I like it more than I liked Indian wood one, but well, with Indian wood, I'm not objective, I guess. I got tired of, on board of that type of wood. For now, it will change. My nose always evolves, always changes. Old things start to bore me, new things excite me, then everything switches, old things start to excite me again, and round and round and round it goes. So, in short, this is an excellent fragrance, excellent price, amazing presentation, and I guess this became kind of my theme of my channel by now. I have plenty of popular Russian Adam creations in my cabinet, but I just have this urge to talk about the ones that I love, but it seems nobody else does or express the feeling. I want to highlight the scents that are worthy, and I see always new people coming into this hobby, and they ask what are the best fragrances to try, and they get lists of scents that are by now basically impossible to get unless you're ready to pay the bank. And I sit there like, come on, it's not necessary to get the best, oldest Areej le Dore there is to understand what this brand is about, or understand what oud is about. And so if you want to understand what oud is about, maybe not what is oud about, but to start appreciating oud, and you had some rough experiences with some skanky, stinky animalic ouds, you should try Indonesian wood. And if you want to know what Areej le Dore is about, but you don't want to, let's say, pay 1,000 euros for the first batch of Russian musk or something like that, I think from now what is available in the store, you should try Svedenoid. You can get it at the store still, and it has pretty much everything and even more, because Sultan Pasha is there even more than Areej le Dore can offer and is all about. So yeah, I recommend this fragrance. On my parfumo review, I think I didn't rate it that well when I first got it, but mostly because they ask you to rate performance, and admittedly performance here is not well, it's maybe, it lasts pretty long, maybe 10 hours, but to get it to smell it after maybe 2 hours, you need to go like this. But it's very, very relaxing, very meditative scent, and I'd say not all oud is this smooth and this relaxing, and that's the kind of oud I like. That's why I have problems finding old enough oud to have these facets. But this farmed oud used here somehow does. So yeah, that was my video. Please, again, I appreciate your subscribes, I appreciate your likes, I appreciate your comments. Please, I would like them even more. So yeah, goodbye and have a good day.